Bubbling inside like rabies. Doing it my way lately. Baby,
Go time.
baby. I want tonight, I'm crazy. Bubbling inside like rabies. I'm doing it my way greatly. Can you blame me? So what's it gonna be more? I'm not in my
KPOO 89.5 FM. It's your boy DJ Chips. Yo, you guys, you are listening to the Madhouse, the only show that supports the independents. And guys, I have with me live in the studio the man that did that song. That last song was called Phenom, and we got Mr. Teo here live in the studio.
Hey.
Live studio audience.
Oh, we out here. All these beautiful faces.
The listeners think it's real, but it's not. If you watch the video, because Teo has his camera guy here, if you're watching the video, there's no live studio audience. But the listeners don't know that. But Teo, for maybe people that didn't hear, about you last time, or for the listeners that maybe, missed out on the interview that when we had you here 4 years ago, which, by the way, shame on you for missing it. How dare you, right? I feel offended. I always tell you guys who's coming in here, right? But why don't you briefly tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, man?
Yeah. I'm a musician. I sing. I'm a songwriter. I'm also a rapper. And I'm just trying to share inspiration with the world through music and inspire people to essentially be the best versions of themselves and to find what inspires them in this world and, just never stop going after it and to know that they can achieve whatever it is that they set their minds to. And that's kind of what I do with my music.
Dope. Yeah. Now, Teo, again, you've been already here 2 times, right? But and you've been at this music thing for a minute, right?
Yeah.
So, on behalf of, your fans, let me also ask you, who are some of, your musical inspirations? Again, I'll ask the question verbatim from your fans because, again, let me also clarify something. This is the first time where your fans have literally written 50% of the questions. I'm just here, and I'm their mouth at this point. I'm a glorified mouth for them. So, let our listeners know, who are your top 3, like maybe rappers or just inspirations for your music.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like this. Every time I get asked this question, it always changes, and I feel like it depends on the season I'm in of where I'm listening to music at, or just where I'm at, with life in general. And I think in the most simplest form, I would definitely say, my top musician or artist is Tupac. He's always been my biggest inspiration when it comes to, thinking I can even do anything with music. His lyrics definitely inspired just a lot of the ways that my mind thinks and the way I kind of approach life and just like see, things. And I would say, yeah, he's definitely number 1. Black Thought, I would say he's definitely another one, like one of the top, just because of, I don't know, just the way he is on the mic, like straight killer, And I'll definitely say Big L.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now, Teo, the last time we had you on the show, which was, again, fun fact, almost exactly 4 years to the day.
That's actually pretty wild.
Right? Exactly. Again, guys, you can go to our Mixcloud.com, and I'm not lying, right? Exactly on 7/14, 4 years ago, Teo was on this show, and that was post-COVID, right, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, but, we not only just have you in the studio, we also had E.G. the Beast as well.
Shout
and
out to
Mish. Shout out to E.G. and Mish.
Yeah. Shout out to Mish.
Yeah, just still doing it out there. But as well, we debuted your singles, Thig, as I remember very clearly, right?
Yeah,
and Manifest as well.
Yeah.
So, and again, if our listeners haven't checked out the interview, again, mixcloud.com/themadhouse. So let our listeners know what you've been up to since then.
Immediately, the first thing that comes to mind after 2022 was in 2023, I got in contact with WESTSIDE BOOGIE, and I actually did a record with him, which was really, really cool. I did one of those like open verse challenges, which I literally never do. Like, I'm like, bro, I see, you know, I always see people doing them, and I think I have this like thing about, I don't know, just like doing them for whatever reason. And so I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do this because it feels good. Like I felt called to do it in the moment, so I recorded something, and then he ended up seeing it, and then he reached out to me, and we ended up talking, you know, business wise, whatever. Like, if you got, you know, I think what you're doing is dope. I got respect for you. If you got a budget, we could work. Like, what's up? Let me know. So pretty much messaged him back and just got into, you know, a quick little conversation. And then the next thing you know, I go down to LA with me and a couple of my boys, and I send him a beat, and he writes a verse, and then we have a record.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, like it's cool to have a song, but for me it just wasn't enough. I was like, we got to do a video. You know? I was like, call me greedy, but
hey, I mean, at least you're honest, right? At least
Yeah.
it's like, you know, the song's not enough.
it's not enough.
It's
bro.
not enough. Let's be real.
I need visuals. I need, you know.
Right? I mean, again, you never know. You just don't know when you're going to get this opportunity again. So, yeah it makes
for real.
sense, right? Take advantage.
And lately I've been trying to put myself in the perspective of if I was an observer, like an objective observer of what would I want from my favorite artist. You know, and I know what I like, as I'm the person that's like listening to music. I like visuals from my favorite artists. I like when they do behind the scenes type of things, and when they have just like documentation of what they're doing. And so from that perspective, I was like, the song is not enough. So we need to do a video. And so fast forward, we end up going down to LA and we shoot a music video. And that was probably like one of the coolest things that kind of set the tone for, you know, that year moving forward. And that kind of carried me into 2024 with just like where I felt I was trying to head with music and just the things that I was trying to achieve, and, you know, reach like new heights and work with, you know, different artists and in that kind of realm. And then 2024, I had a show in LA actually, and I brought Boogie out to the show, and he came and we did the song, which was heck of fun, bro. Like, it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I imagine it's always a good time when, you know, the collab that you're doing is like, yo, you can make it to the show. Oh man, let's go.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring this house down.
Yeah, and it was like really, really fun. And I had a bunch of my homies that were living out in LA that came to the show, and a bunch of people that I'm just, you know, tapped in with out there, and it was a really fun time. And so like shout out to WESTSIDE BOOGIE for sliding. It was a super memorable. And that's kind of how I started off the year in like 2024. And then after that, what was next? So me and my boy South 006, he's actually here right now in the studio. We were working on an album in the meantime, in the middle of all this happening, and so we ended up releasing the album later that year in like the summertime, and that was so much fun because, you know, I was thinking, how can we reach as many people as possible while staying authentic to the type of work that we do and like the type of, you know, energy we want to share with the people, of really just like believing in yourself and going all in and like not half-assing in that sense of like delivering a project essentially in its fullest potential to the people. And so I was like, we're going to get a billboard. We're going to get a couple of billboards.
What?
Yeah.
So hold on.
Yeah.
Take me through that process. What possesses a person to say, I'm gonna do a music project, billboard? Like, do you understand? Like,
yeah.
There's a whole kind of in the middle of just like, you know what? All right, we finished the project. We're gonna shoot a music video here or there, maybe, right? And then we're gonna get the billboard. But no, you just like song, album, billboard.
Literally.
So. Take me through a little bit of that thought process there, because like, I mean, again, there's so much in between that has to happen, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I had this, not really an epiphany, but I think I was just kind of meditating on creative ideas that not only had I not been seeing in the city, but just if I was looking at, you know, an artist at like the highest caliber, most of the time, you'll see that they have, you know, billboards in Times Square, and when they release their album, it's just kind of part of a like rollout for it. And I was like, how can we emulate a similar? Obviously, I ain't got Times Square money yet, but I was like, right. You know, I got a good budget for doing something creative that
you got Bay Area money.
Bay Area money. Yeah, you know, I got a little Sacramento money. You know what I'm saying? No. But I'm just like thinking, how can I invest in the idea, essentially?
Right.
I was like, no one's doing billboards. I don't know the last time I saw at least an artist in my city or, in general.
Right.
And I think it's not a forgotten art, but it's just something that it's like a tangible thing, where if you see it, you're just like, wow, that's pretty cool. At least it'll make me curious.
Right.
If I'm like, what is this?
Right.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I was like, we got to do a billboard.
Yeah.
And
Or I think the more common way to see billboards, right? It's like, oh yeah, so and so will be, at XYZ arena, right? And it's happening this day, right? And that's the most
Exactly.
common way that you see it, right? You don't really see like, oh, go check out my project, blah 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 blah. Or they're pushing shows on billboards.
Yeah.
They're not pushing music projects.
yeah.
So and again, it is true what you're saying of like, a billboard does generate that kind of curiosity. So and again, it makes people like want to check it out, especially again if you really go like, all out on the actual artwork or whatever,
Yeah.
right? It's like, yo, what is that? That looks dope, like
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, and it was cool too because they let us have like creative control of what was going on it, and so I got ideas.
oh yeah,
So I was pretty much thinking, how can I catch people's attention?
Right,
What
right.
would make me curious as a listener or as an observer of like, oh, that billboard is dope. Like,
yeah,
And so that was pretty cool to have that, relationship with them. And Melissa is the person at Clear Channel that was, in charge of helping me out. So shout out to her. She really came through. And
Shout out Melissa.
yeah, shout out to Melissa. And it really, just put it in perspective like, okay, we can do this. This is really awesome. And it's unique. And it had a great impact, on everything moving forward, like bringing a lot of attention to the album. And I had people's mom, like my friends' moms were texting them to like tell them like, I saw your friend's billboard, and out there in Sacramento. And it was cool to just have that reception to be like, yo,
Yeah, exactly.
we're out here.
Yeah, exactly. Not only that, but I mean, again, that not to say that. Let me make myself 100% clear here, because I'm gonna say some wild stuff, and maybe it might get clipped out of context. I don't know. The moms is the target demo that you want. No, just like, but in all seriousness though, you know what I mean? Like if you got somebody's moms be like, yo, that's your friend Teo, like they doing the music thing, right? It's like it's like I just saw his billboard. They're like, it's working. All right, we did it.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it sounds like you've been pretty busy, in the last 4 years. You haven't stopped doing music, right? I mean, we'll get to more about, some of the other stuff that you've been at it, right? But we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
So, last time you debuted, again, the singles Thig and Manifest with us here. So why don't you tell us, you brought some new here. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that song, Phenom? Tell us the story behind it. Tell us, what inspired it, and go ahead.
Yeah, Phenom. It came from a place of like shifting around my whole life because I just recently moved from the place I was staying at in Sacramento for I was there for about 7 years, and I kind of just was feeling creatively not drained, but just like at a point where I hadn't been feeling inspired to write or create anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew I needed to kind of shift up something, just to get some spark. And that ended up being me moving to like a whole new place. And when I had reset up my studio after I moved, I was feeling pretty inspired. Just like, new scenery, like new feelings, new energy in the place I was living. And that literally just was the first song that I wrote and made a beat and everything, and it kind of was one of the only songs that's reflective of, from the time of creating it to releasing it, the most current space I was in my life. Like, because sometimes, I'll write music and it's from stuff that's happened in the past, or I'll pull from stories, back then, or I'll write songs from a perspective of where I see myself being in terms of trying to essentially manifest an idea or something of that nature. And this one is more in the context of, okay, I'm currently here. This is literally the most recent time in my life that I'm in, like right now. And that kind of captured the essence of like that. And Phenom is essentially just about knowing your worth and impact as a person, and just to know that you're unique and there ain't nobody like you, and treat yourself like a phenom because you are. and can't nobody tell you differently.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's really interesting. And again, we'll get to the music video of Phenom as well. Again, as an artist, right? You just don't think about like, I need a change of scenery, right? Or I need to do this to again get inspired again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To write more music, right?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting that you're saying that again. You had to change your environment, right? Where you were before, right? It no longer provided you a creative spark.
Yeah.
And so it's really kind of interesting to see just like how, not to say, because like I always think that like for some musicians, right, you have to go live life, right? To
True.
come back and then in a way, in your own creative way, kind of like report on your life, right?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting that you're saying that a change of scenery is what actually did it for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I imagine that, that's kind of been kind of its own adventure in itself of like, changing scenery, getting everything set up, and then kind of like, okay, I'm in a new space. How do I approach my creativity again? And how do I find that creativity again to put a project together? Because the funny and I guess sort of ironic part is that you put out several projects before this.
Yeah.
So, again, and I guess my thought process is, why welcome people when, they have you have other projects that people can listen to, right?
Yeah, no, indeed. Yeah. I feel that. And I think it's so cool because I feel that I'm always going to be introducing myself to people, even if they know me in a current space. I'm always going to be reintroducing myself. And I don't want to ever feel as if I'm owed anybody's attention or that I should expect them to know who I am or know of what I do. I just feel so blessed that people would ever take, any type of time to listen to anything I'm doing at any point in my career. And so I'll always feel honored to just be like, hey, like I'm introducing myself or I'm reintroducing myself, or for the people that are actually, have been with me since the beginning, I'm still going to have to reintroduce myself to them. Exactly. Because, we're always evolving, and it's so cool to be in a space where like, yeah, I gave you 5 albums before, but here goes another one. And I'm introduced to you a different style on this one because this one you may have not heard the subject matter that's being talked about on it, or you may have not heard this style of flows, or there's going to be a bunch of different pockets, and there's like, it's an infinite amount of like creativity to kind of just share with people. So I always feel that I have to introduce or reintroduce myself at every space of the journey and every era that we're in,
And is Phenom part of this project, or was Phenom part of a different project that you had worked on? Yeah,
no, Phenom was kind of just one-off, just a single. It was something I just felt I needed to get out and to release, just to give people something, with the idea of like, this is my most current space. Okay. And here goes a bop, and here goes a video.
And again, like I said, we'll get to the video in a minute. Now, this next one also comes from your fans. What is your favorite song that you've made?
Oh man.
And it doesn't necessarily even have to be like on this project. It could just be just in general that you've made.
Yeah. I would say a song that I really liked, that challenged myself to like with my writing, was this song we released last year too, called Contorni.
We will get to that in the video of that as well.
We got to talk about that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I would say Contorni is probably the most recent one that I really, really like.
Now, here's an interesting question, because I don't think a lot of artists answer or can answer this question, because it's like I've always had this idea that artists view their work through the lens of like, I really took my time, and a lot of these songs are like bangers, right? And you can have a song that's like, yeah, man, like it was so fun doing this song, or it was so fun working with this person to do this song, right?
Yeah.
But the question I have from your fans is, what is your least favorite song that you have? And I think this is an interesting question, because again, I think a lot of artists don't really view their music through that lens of like, like, oh man, this song, like, it was such a drag, or this is the reason that it's my least favorite. So I mean, again, so tell our listeners, like, do you view your music like through that lens of like, oh man, like, this song could have been better, or I could have approached it differently?
Yeah, I think I try to keep an open perspective of not being so attached to everything has to be good, because if I approach it, obviously the idea is to write the best songs every single time I get in the studio. That's the intention, because I want to make the most impact when it's out. But sometimes, you know, you got to miss the jumper, and I definitely always keep that perspective, like, okay, maybe this one just wasn't the one, and it's fine, because sometimes it could be just a draft. So I would probably say, I don't know if there's one specific one, but I do have a lot that these are probably the ones that you never get to hear, because they're the ones that don't get released. So I'd probably say, when I was in the process of actually writing Phenom, I wrote probably like 3 or 4 more simultaneously, and none of them I ended up following through on the ideas and thinking they were, you know, something I would feel happy releasing. So I would probably say that those are like, or maybe one of those was like the least favorite of songs that I've written. And like I said, a lot of them are just songs that are in the drafts and they never get to see the light of day. And so those would probably be the ones I would say.
Yeah. And again, guys, look, again, Teo is the prime example of just music, kind of the music making process, right? It takes a long time to write an album, to write one song.
Say that.
Right? Like,
yeah.
like, you know what I mean? So, like, again, I would say that a lot of artists do kind of have that mentality that you're saying, right? Is that it's that perfectionist mentality.
Yeah.
But then I think the problem, though, with that, though, is that you never end up releasing a song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or like you sit on a song so long, then you're like, I might as well have, the time that it took me to do this song, I might as well have done 3 other songs, put out an EP, or done a project, or done a whole album, like, you know. And again, like you said too, that a lot of songs start off as drafts, and again, a lot of them is just like they don't work for the overall vision of the project, right? And they just don't end up making the cut. Sorry guys, I don't know what you were kind of expecting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, I've even seen a lot of artists make too many songs, and they're like, okay, I have to narrow this down to, again, let's say for the sake of argument, 16 songs.
Yeah. Right?
A good percentage of it is cut down, and it's like low-key kind of heartbreaking, because you're just like, damn, like this song could have gone, like, you know, and you're just like, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't fit. It doesn't, you know, the overarching approach that I want to take for this whole project. Right? It just doesn't work. And, you know, it's not to say that there's not a whole lot we can do. I mean, yeah, there's a whole lot we can do in the sense of, like, you know, we can save them for later, you know, and just kind of reapproach and change our approach, redraft, right? So
Yeah.
definitely, for sure. Now, Teo, not only have you been busy with new music, right? But I follow you on IG. You know, we talk every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, you've also been busy with a few music videos as well, right?
Yep.
Now,
Indeed.
before we dive into the behind the scenes of Phenom, right?
Yeah.
I kind of first want to get a little bit into the behind the scenes of your live performance music video for your song Wifey, which we have here as well. Now, let me ask, you know, so first of all, was that your first time working with a live band for that song, or just working with a live band in general?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you, was it a challenge, kind of like, because I'm imagining you have to like reverse engineer your song, right? And like, again, like, I'm in my head, it's like you guys are using, like, you know, the beat making pads and all the software and everything like that, right?
Yep.
And so you have to now reverse engineer your song and be like, okay, you know, like, I need a keyboard player, right? And this is how the song goes, and they're listening, and it's like, okay, I got you here, right? And it's like, all right, now you on bass, you know, listen to the song, right? And then you gotta, like, all right, now we have to you have to reverse engineer the whole thing by elements, right? And kind of put it all together. Yeah. So, I mean, was that a challenge to actually even do, like, get that song ready for, like, again, a live band or?
You know, surprisingly, no, because the guys that I work with are such incredible musicians that they are able to just translate almost like instantaneously. Like, they know how to read, and it's, you know, all the notes, and it's so cool to have those conversations with them. And shout out to my guys, Ian, Avery, and Tyler. They helped me create that video, and Patty, South 006, he was helping us, like, engineer the sounds on it, because it's so cool to listen to these guys talk about music because they speak a different language that I can't. Where they're like, oh, is it like a C major or a diminished? There are all these like terms, and they're within themselves talking as they're creating listening to the beat. And I'm like, bro, you guys are so dope because I can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they were right on the spot. Or I sent them the song, and then they had it figured out by like less than a day, I would say, maybe a day or two.
Wow.
They were like breaking it down. They knew everything. So when we came time to the recording, we did a couple of rehearsals and just to kind of catch the vibe, because this was the first time that I actually worked with them on something musically. And I met them months before, and we had always talked about let's do something together, like let's do something, and then just the opportunities never came up. So when this one came up, I was like, I have to reach out to these guys, and we gotta do something dope. And so it was so cool to see how quickly they were able to just make it a seamless process to just recreate the song and then just reimagine this beat that I made in my living room. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It was so dope.
So I mean, and again, let me also ask, like when you do that song, are you also doing that song with a live band as well, or is it a situation where it's like, oh, when I can get the whole band to do it, then we're doing that song like live with live band and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's cool because that was the first time that I did the song in any type of fashion outside of releasing it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm playing a show in a couple of weeks, and the band is going to be with me. So we have this 2-hour set, and we're going to do that song along with a bunch of others. And so it'll be the first time we get to actually play it for a crowd. And so we've been in rehearsals like the last month and a half doing, drilling the songs and learning all of the elements of everything. And so this will be the next time we get to actually like play it for a crowd, and it's going to be insane.
Dope. Well, you know what, let's give them another taste, because I feel like, we've been doing a lot of chit chat, and so why don't we give them a little taste of that song, Wifey? And you guys are hearing it here on KPOO 89.5 FM, baby. Yay! We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Everything with you feels right. Dreamed about you all my life. I think I just met my wife. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight. Out of sight. Out of sight. Out of sight. Yeah, let's get out of sight. Cause everything with you feels right. Dreamed about you all my life. I think I just met my wife. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight. Out of sight. Out of sight. Let's get out of sight. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight, yeah. Remember when we first locked eyes? You were with your friends and they knew some of mine. It was 07 somewhere in summertime. You were with somebody else, but I read through the lines, yeah. He ain't do you right, yeah, I know it. I could save you, but it won't make me heroic. If I write about it, doesn't make me a poet. My love for you is deep like algae in the ocean. I pulled up in a coupe, told you I was swoop. Posted by the stoop, you can meet me out in two. Come on, ride around the city, baby, it's just me and you. Scared to take your hand cause I don't know what he would do. Then you said to end it cause he wasn't faithful to you. First I said sorry, then I said cool. Come on, the sunroof's open, see the stars and the moon. They not quite as beautiful as you. Everything with you feels right. Dream about you all my life. I think I just met my wife. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight, yeah. Everything with you feels right. Dream about you all my life. I think I just met my wife. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight. For love, 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 love. I've been praying, love, 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 love. Dedication, love, 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 love. I've been waiting, love, 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 love. Yeah, it's all for you. Baby, let me plead my case. I take you to outer space. Put a smile on your face, the way you do mine, like ditto, same. Just thinking about it, you got me feeling astonished. Spending time with you is a blessing to keep me honest. You put me on the TV, I love the way you composite. Every time I write a verse, I'm out this world on a rocket. You got what I need, and what you need, I got it too. I ain't never met another lover quite like you. Cause I love the way you love me, you love the way I do you. Ring around your finger like Rosie, your pocket's full too. Everybody nosy and curious if it's foolproof. Cause everything with you feels right. Dreamed about you all my life. I think I just met my wife. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight. Out of sight. Out of sight. Out of sight. Yeah, yeah, let's get out of sight. Cause everything with you feels right. Dreamed about you all my life. I think I just met my wife. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight. Out of sight. Out of sight. Let's get out of sight. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight. For love, 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 love. I've been praying. Love, 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 love. Dedication. Love, 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 love. I've been waiting. Love, 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 love. Yeah, it's all for you. Yeah, it's all for you. You. I think I just met my wife. Put a ring on it, let's get out of sight. Yeah. I think I just met my wife.
KPOO 89.5 FM. It's your boy DJ Chips. Yo, did you guys like that last song? Because I have the man that did that last song, Teo, live here in the studio. And now we are joined by his brother, Testa GROSSA, live in the studio as well. Hang on 1 second. Testa GROSSA, there you go. Everybody gets one.
Hey.
Yeah. Done in front of a live studio audience. Again, the listeners think it's happening. It's not.
A lot of familiar faces here.
But yo, we started that last music set off with Wifey, and we were just discussing about it. So now that we have Testa GROSSA here, you know, we're going to grill Testa GROSSA here for a little bit. So he's now stepping into the ring. It's 2-on-1 now.
Yes,
so
sir.
get ready.
Ooh. Yeah.
So, you know, now, Testa GROSSA, for the people that maybe don't remember you, because you Teo had done an interview before this one, right, with E.G. the Beast, right? And we just played that song Thig, right? So now, for the listeners that don't remember you, my friend, why don't you briefly reintroduce yourself to the listeners, man?
I'm Testa GROSSA. We make art, all types of art. Tonight we're promoting music, so,
Dope. Now, Testa GROSSA, let me ask you a few of the fan questions here, and that is, you've been doing this music thing for a while, I imagine, correctly, right? So, you lean more onto the production side of music, right? I would say, is that what you say? That's accurate.
Yeah,
so let me ask you, who are some of your influences, and who are your top three rappers that
Top three rappers?
well, not even rappers. I'll extend it to to producers as well,
Okay.
because normally when I ask people this question, you just never know. It's like, yo, I love so and so's production. It's like fire. I like this person's lyrical style, right? There are so many components to just music in general.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of them end up being both producers and rappers, at least the people that I tend to respect a little bit more and study. Kanye West, off the top of my head, probably one of the greatest, no matter what, for me. Jay Dilla, rest in peace, Number 3, myself.
There you go. So, let me ask you, so, where do you get a lot of your inspiration from? Because now, and again, we were talking about this as well a little bit, in the time that Teo had been on the show, right, you took a brief hiatus in the sense of, you decided that you were still doing music, right, but you were just not in the public eye, right, as well,
Yeah, for
correct?
sure.
So, I mean,
For sure. I don't even want to call it a hiatus, really. I never really introduced myself at all. You know what I'm saying? If you knew me from what I was doing in the public, face to face with people. Not a lot of it was on the internet. So yeah, I mean, I took a hiatus from doing shows, for sure. But you know, we never stopped making music. I just never really released a lot, and that was my anchor, was doing the live shows, you know, so people could hear what I'm doing live. And I kind of like that mystique, if you call, you know, you could only hear me, you could only see me if you pulled up to the show, you know, and I haven't been doing shows. So, you know, it's just time to do an album and just release some music.
For sure, for sure. And so like, let me also ask, you know, how does it feel to be back working with Teo? We got Teo's answer in the sense of he's like, you know what, it's great to be back, right? And again, you guys had to be on the same page creatively to do your latest the latest project. So you know, I want to get your perspective in the sense of how does it feel coming back working with Teo on music?
It feels great. You know, the beauty when we work together is what I always want with artists is to get to know each other, you know, first and foremost. And with that being said, we've lived our whole lives together. So, you know, when you get in the lab, you kind of already have an understanding of who each other are first and foremost. And for me, that's always the way to make better records. So, you know, a lot of the music we've made wasn't too much conversation happening, you know, just writing songs, making beats, sending beats, recording, you know, pretty simple process when the groundwork is laid. You know?
Does it feel like, you know, you're obviously, again, the sword hasn't lost its sharpness, right? It's just more of like, oh, you know, like, hey, what, you know, like, let me bounce this idea off you because, you know, your brother, it's a different perspective, right? In the sense of how you're approaching the music.
Yeah, I think this was, for me personally, just my introduction, you know. I don't have too many records out with me saying anything. Like you said, I lean more towards the production. So this was just kind of getting that confidence to say what I want to say, you know, and showing people that I have been doing this for a long time. And, you know, now it's time to give them something to digest.
For sure, because if I remember correctly, the last project we heard you featured on was, I believe, American Gangster. And Teo, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Right? That was the last project that at least on our end, right? Is where Testa GROSSA was featured, right?
Yeah, and in that time too, we've done a couple of records like in between. The most recent one was like After Moon Blues was probably the more recent one. But definitely that was, I think, the last time you guys had heard anything.
So you know what I mean? You see where we're coming from. It's like, man, you know, like...
no, for sure. And I'm just super low-key with it, to be honest.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
That's just kind of...
For sure.
Part of me.
For sure. Now, kind of getting back into I guess, you know, some of the fan questions here, and you know, we'll start with Testa GROSSA here, and that is, you know, who is a dream collab that you would be like, yo, like again, whether it's one of you, right? Let's say, right, you know, one of you guys gets the opportunity, yo, so and so wants to work with me, or you know, wants to work with us, you know, like what would you say?
Well,
is
it depends.
Your dream collab?
Are they gonna rap, or are they gonna produce a song for us? You know.
I mean, again, however you want to approach it. Like again, let's say in the 0.0001% that, you know, someone says like, yo, I want to cut a record with Teo, and if you want to bring your producer on, like, I'm down. Or, you know, like, hey, you know, I you know, let me produce a record, and you know, you have input on the beat, or you have input on the approach, and Teo has input on the lyrics behind it, right? What would you say, you know, is a dream collab where you're just like, yo, I never thought
I gotta think about this for a second.
Well, then
we try not to dream too big sometimes, you know, and be pretty practical with our approach. At least myself. There's probably be a lot of artists I would love to work with, but you know, like I said earlier, the groundwork, getting to know people, is the most important for me. So I would never only base it off of stardom. And I think, again, I would make the best record if I had a relationship with them first. So I think, I probably don't have an answer for that one right now. I think I'm pretty content with who's in my circle, who I have connections with, and I think as our careers grow, you know, we're going to get in touch with the right people when the stars align.
Fair enough. Teo, what about you, man?
I'll probably say Pharrell, just like off the first person I think of. Pharrell would be fire to work with. Yeah.
for sure.
I would say that.
I'll be honest. I think for a dream collab for you, and this is just what I think would just be cool to see one day.
What do you think, Chips?
I think Lo-Fi Girl would be tight.
I'm not familiar.
You don't know Lo-Fi Girl? She's like basically that anime like girl that's just like it's like raining in the background and she's just like vibing, just like writing and doing homework or whatever.
Okay.
Like, I would love to just see like Lo-Fi Girl and just be, she like out of nowhere just like Tails, Thig or Wifey just like comes up and she's just still vibing and doing whatever. I'm like, all right, cool,
Nice
awesome.
contrast.
There you go. Yeah, why not? You know, or again, it's just some like lo-fi tail, right, coming up on the Lo-Fi Girl channel on YouTube.
Fire.
Like that again, I'm just saying that would be kind of tight. I gets down with that. Now, to kind of shift gears here a little bit, you know, your latest video, Phenom, right?
Yeah.
For anybody that has not seen it, spoiler alert, right? Can I ask, you know, how did you come up with the concept for Phenom? Because, like, Thig, I get it. It's fun. Keep it gangsta, right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Pardon if I pronounce this wrong. Cortoni again. Pardon.
Contorni.
Contorni.
Yeah.
Right. It's a very story driven, you know, music video, right? Because as you're watching it, right, we're seeing like kind of like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's like a breakup song, right? We're watching the whole thing kind of unfold, right? And so now Phenom on the other hand, it has at least for me, it has a little bit of a psychedelic feel, right? And you know, I at least when I watched it, I was more engaged with your lyrics. So can I ask, you know, how did you come up with the concept for at least the visual concept for Phenom? Because you were saying that it's you. The song came from the idea of, you know, you're in a new environment. You had to change where you live to kind of get inspired again, right? But how did you come up with the concept for the visual as well?
Yeah, so that song actually, my boy Jaime, he's a director. He goes by 777 Cinema. Shout out to him. He reached out to me and he kind of had the idea and he sent it to me. And he's like, I just listened to your song. I got an idea. I think it'll be fire for a video. Because I had no ideas for a music video when it came to the song.
Really?
It was just like I'm going to give him a song. If there's visuals, or if there's an idea for a video, I don't have it right now.
Right.
So there was no intention to do a music video. And then he reached out to me like a month later and he's like, hey, I got an idea, bro. And I was like, cool, I trust you. And so he sent me, you know, he wanted to do like some trippy psychedelic things in the forest. And I was with it. And so we went out there and we shot it.
Okay.
And he snapped.
For sure.
Yeah.
And also, just a quick PSA. When you watch the video, just make sure you're not high on LSD or something, because it'll mess you up, man.
It's trippy for sure.
Oh. He's in the forest and I'm just tripping and seeing colors.
Gotta wake their spirit up.
Oh, exactly. So just a PSA, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch it, you know, weed's cool, that's fine. But anything else from out of that, I say, God help you.
Just be ready.
Right? Just be ready for some real stuff, right? Get ready to see some colors.
Yeah.
Now, also for the record, I think that you should be nominated for an Oscar, because there was one shot as I was watching the video where there were so many flies, and I'm like, if that is me, I'm like trying to rap and trying to swat them away, but you just like stone face, and you're just like, I'm vibing. What's up? Yeah. What's up? And I'm just like, give this man an Oscar, please.
When I'm locked in, I'm locked in. What could I say?
Oh man, right? Don't give the Oscar to nobody. Okay, the Oscar doesn't mean anything if Teo's not on the nomination for it. There,
Facts.
I'll say it.
Tell him.
Now, let me also ask you guys. You know, this is another one from the fans, and that is, what city or country are you excited, or would you be excited to play a show in, right? And again, you know, the Teo fan. Hey, Testa Grossa is looking at me. He's like, damn, these fans are writing some questions. Like, God dang.
I didn't even know I had this many fans.
Well, here's the thing. I'm tossing the question because the Teo fans, I'm not kidding, wrote 50% of this. I came up with half of the questions, and it was more like kind of catching up stuff. They were like, yo, like Teo throwing out like ask me a question for the radio. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
I got you, Chips.
I'll probably say just off the top, just Italy.
Italy?
Just with how rooted we are and how much that inspired a lot of the project and kind of just who we are as people, you know. But honestly, anywhere they don't understand English for me would be fire.
That is fire.
No, for sure. By the way, again, as we mentioned before, I just learned y'all are Italian.
Yeah.
Like that to me,
Yeah.
it doesn't read. So it's like I'm just like, all right, cool. Yeah. You're Italian.
Yeah.
Italy. All right, cool.
Italy, yeah.
So-
Everything Italy.
First generation, so, you know.
I'm learning so much already. Just blowing my mind. But
sir.
what about you, Teo? Where's
Yeah, I'd say Italy too.
Italy
Like,
as
off the
well?
top, yeah, definitely Italy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
And again, I think the reasoning is that again, it's like you'll be surprised as to like because I've been there and it's like I was again, it's a genre of music that like I don't think registers with most people. And so when you find out it's like, yeah, we have like Italian hip hop here. And you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Excuse me? What?
They fire out there too.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and again, I think it's just very kind of, definitely like there is a subculture there. Have I seen it? No, in my personal opinion, but could you guys conceivably like,
Yeah, get out there.
Get out there?
For sure.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
That's the goal.
Exactly, for
Yeah.
sure. Now, so Teo, I was lurking on your Instagram, right? And here comes the Instagram question that we talked about off air, right?
Oh, shit.
And I saw
Shoot.
he's like, what did I post? Please don't let it be anything weird. But so Teo, I was lurking on your Instagram and I saw that you have a show coming up and you mentioned it as well,
Yeah.
right? So, tell our listeners a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we're playing a show at 2P Coffee in Sacramento on August 1st. It's a couple of weeks from today. And I got a live band with me. I got all my guys with me. And we're going to be playing 2 hours of music, actually. It's going to be pretty wild. I've never played that long of a set. We're doing 3 40-minute sets. So there's going to be different themes to all of the numbered sets, and it's going to be kind of cool to kind of go through the discography with a live band and just like reinterpret all the songs. And so, yeah, that'll be on Saturday, August 1st at 2B Coffee, and the show is going to go from 6 till 9 o'clock. So, I'm hoping to see a lot of cool faces out there, and it's going to be a fun time. I'm just excited to give people reimagined records and, yeah, do like live instrumentation.
Yeah, no, and again, the fact that you're doing a good percentage of your songs with a live band, like that has to, in a way, kind of be like a wild amount of coordination of just like, all right, like check the song out and it's like break it down and then come back and like let's see what we got with a live band.
Yeah, that's been like the last month and a half of what we've been doing. Pretty much every week we've been getting in rehearsals and going song by song and trying to find how we can reinvent it and still stick as close as possible, but also keeping it free to where it's like we don't have to do exactly how it sounds and just kind of move, accordingly and just have fun. For sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, guys, hit them. Where's the show going to be at?
It's going to be at 2P Coffee on the rooftop. The address is 1901 8th Street in Sacramento from 6 till 9 p.m. And you can get tickets on the 2pcoffee.com website. They're $15, and it's going to be a crazy show. So if you're hearing this, come through.
There you go, guys.
Make the trip.
For sure. Now, besides your project, Benvenuti, I got it right? Yeah.
Benvenuti.
Right. Yeah. Alrighty. You got to celebrate the little victories. Besides that project that's already finalized and ready to go, let me also ask you, Teo, what else do you have coming down the pipeline, man? Whether that be like music videos or whether that be like, you already have another project lined up or you have more singles lined up, like what's coming down the pipeline after the shows or after your show happening?
Just the album. The album comes out August 18th. And so after that will be pretty much what I'm going to be focused on with Testa GROSSA going into the new year. We got a bunch of videos for the album, and that's really going to be my main focus. It's just delivering it to the utmost potential and staying in people's faces about Benvenuti. And you want to say something about it too?
No, that's all I got coming.
Yeah.
You know, we've waited a long time for this to come out, and we're gonna do right by that, and you know, spend the time to not only promote but to get it in people's faces in the least annoying way possible, I think, and just to attract the right people. You know, is our goal, I believe, and to do that, it's gonna take some time. You know what I mean? To let people sit with it, and to keep promoting it slowly is our goal. You know, and not just be a one and done, turn and burn, ready for the next thing. Because I think the project means a lot. So, you know, we're going to spend the time once it releases to, you know, show people how much it actually means to us as well.
For sure, for sure. And again, I think you definitely let people kind of like chew on the album for a little bit in the sense of like, you know, like, oh man, like this song was dope. Like, let me now, you know, once they go through it, right? Now let me go back and let me go check out all the other stuff that Teo and you have worked on, and Testa Grossa have worked on as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you ready for this one, Testa Grossa?
Yeah, let's
because
do it.
I'm gonna give your brother here an option.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna hit him. I can either hit him with a really degenerate question that came from the fans, or I can hit him with my personal question, which is not as degenerate. You've seen. I don't know. Again, you were hearing the interview on the way here, and I'm at least tamed here.
Yeah, you're chilling.
So
You're professional,
right? So I'm gonna give him the option, and we're gonna see how this kind of plays out. So, which question do you want me to hit you with first? The degenerate question, or at least the Chips question, which is semi-tamed here? Maybe for sure it's off the beaten path.
Yeah. I say we save Chipses for last.
Okay.
And just get the degenerate.
All right, we'll get the degenerate question out of the way. And this one's from the fans. And for the record, I want to make this 100% clear. I am only speaking for them. I did not write this question. And the question is, and I swear to you, this is an actual question someone wrote. Are you single? Asking for a friend.
That's crazy.
This is
that one. I didn't write that one. I saw that though.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, you see what I mean?
Tell them, man. They're curious.
The degenerate question, but he knows he has the out too. He's like, he wants to leave it a little bit of mystery.
I plead the fifth now.
Plead the fifth now.
No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm not going to say much, but I will just say that there is somebody, and she has my attention. That's all I'll say.
There we go.
Fair enough.
Keep it simple.
Case closed.
Case closed.
All right, moving on.
Next.
It's like
Next.
I was telling Teo, like, this joint is like court. Like, anything out in the public is up for fair game.
They're trying to get me out here.
Yeah.
So now the more tamed, least degenerate question is that now that Attack on Titan is over,
Oof.
what anime is we watching now?
Right now, actually, I'm waiting for Bleach to come back. It's like the 25th, I think. They're wrapping up the 1,000-year Blood War arc.
Okay.
But that's probably what I'm on right now. I just also watched Solo Leveling. I got to that. Yeah, that's one of the more recent ones. Blue Lock. There's a lot.
Okay. No, and again, here the reason I ask is because this leads into my next question, which is social medias, man. You know, this whole music thing has now become a numbers game, right? So, you know, hit our fans with the social medias. You know, where can they follow you? Where can they, you know, get all the information for the show if they missed it, right? Where can they follow you to get all that kind of good, and, you know, also to keep up in the sense of when Benvenuti comes out, you know, it's like, yo, Teo just dropped a new project. He put it on his social medias. Like, where can they follow to find all that out?
Yeah, you could find me anywhere at Mugenspire. So it's MUGENSPIRE, and that will have everything.
There you go, guys.
Yeah.
And if you know what Mugen means, congratulations. You have outed yourself as an anime nerd. That's for you guys. Now, what about you, Testa Grossa? I mean, are you on the social medias? You know, where can people follow you? Maybe they want to reach out and be like, yo, Testa Grossa, I want to work on a project with you. You know, I would love to have you on the production. You know, where can they follow you at, man? Yeah,
I mean, I'm on Instagram, Testa Grossa, 3 spaces, TESTAGROSSA, 3 spaces. Because I couldn't get it without the 3 spaces, so you know.
There was another Testa Grossa that had it 0 spaces, 1 space, 2 spaces.
They had no spaces, and I tried to DM them, and they've been inactive for I don't know how many years.
That's
so
crazy.
Just kind of.
Well, you never know.
Let it be.
You never know. An Instagram suit might be listening and be like, "We got to fix this.
Yep.
We gotta help Testa GROSSA out."
Yep.
We're gonna have to talk to Instagram about
Exactly.
this.
Exactly. Now, this time is for you guys, and I'm going to start with Teo here, just so then that way you can kind of get your bearings on this. You know, Teo, this time is for you. Is there anybody out there in Radioland that you want to give a shout out to, man?
My parents. Shout out to my parents for giving me life to be here to talk to the world.
There you go.
There it is.
What about you?
Shout out you, bro, for doing the interview, you know. Shout out Teo. Shout out my girl Joss. Shout out my family. Shout out to all the loved ones. Shout out to everybody that ever, you know, messed with me in my career as an artist, as a musician. Shout out to anyone that ever pulled up to a show. Shout out to everybody that's going to pull up to a show in the future. And, yeah, you know, shout out to everybody that's moving with love.
There we go, guys.
That part.
Alrighty. Now, here's the part where we repeat this again. And Teo knows what's happening. So, Testa GROSSA, we have the song here, Good Life, loaded up. But before we do that, Teo, why don't you give us the brief nickel version, and then we're going to throw Testa GROSSA under the bus here. We're gonna make sure he's gonna get hit by the back tires. He wasn't here to get hit by the front wheels, but we're gonna have him do a custom intro to the song. But before we do that, you know, quickly give us the brief story behind the song "Good Life."
Yeah, it's literally just about living the good life with all the people that you love.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, you know. We try to approach music pretty simply. I feel like the best records in the world always have that simplicity.
Yeah.
There's not much to dissect. But we always try to keep a little bit in there for, you know, second, third, fourth, fifth listen. That you'd be like, oh, I didn't get that on the first one, you know. But yeah, it's about living a good life, you know, inspiring people to go live their lives well and be appreciative, I think, of the lives that we have.
Dope.
Indeed.
Alrighty, well, Testa GROSSA, we're gonna have you do a custom intro to your song, to this song. So let our listeners know who you are and what station is playing your single, man.
Yo, it's Testa GROSSA. You're now tuned in to KPOO 89.5, and you're about to listen to Good Life by Teo and Testa GROSSA.
He made me do it.
I told him I'm ready, bro.
This is the good life. Pick up a book and I read. This, that knowledge of self, deep rooted like trees. This is the good life. Yeah, it's the birds and the bees that carry me to the essence like the wind and the leaves. Yeah, this the good life. Good life. 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 Yeah. Progress motivated, I'm obsessed with the growth. It guides me towards where I couldn't stretch to before. With my head to the sky and my feet off the flow. Can't find new oceans unless we lose sight of the show. I've been grounded as many times as I've been afloat. Tasted victory as much as defeat. Step to my dough, witness history while trying to rewrite my own. At times a disconnect, let you reconnect like foe. Movement in alignment, I'm painted with all the colors. Love for all my brothers, do anything for each other. Peace on all the past that we have yet to discover. Word to all the families, all the fathers and mothers, no competing. It's me versus me, life is fleeting. My kings and queens forever seeking a state of being. This is the good life, yes, deep rooted in me. This is the good life. Pick up a book and I read. This, that knowledge of self, deep rooted like trees. This is the good life. Yeah, it's the birds and the bees that carry me to the essence like the wind and the leaves. Yeah, this the good life. Good life. 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 Yeah.
I pull up with the top drop, then a bottle caps in my E30 vert. You may get past, cause I'd rather drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. My weekdays a movie and my weekends a show. The nuance of expressions on the way to be rich. My mind's running laps, I've been about success. I'm on the phone with destiny, my future looking bright. Just keep your head down and push through like life. Appalled by the horror that I leave. Once the blood stains my tea, I realize that the scene, not another dream. it's reality. Now it's time to face it. We all energy, can't create it or break it, can't bend it or fold. Under pressure, I know, whole career sous vide. Turn the heat on the stove, time to seal the deal, keep the juices in, let the products here. I'm hardly getting started, not naughty and not nodded, not spotty but still spotted. That lady luck's in my favor, so I grabbed a spoon just to taste the flavor. Not spotty but still spotted. That lady luck's in my favor, so I grabbed a spoon just to taste the flavor.
This is the good life. Pick up a book and I read. This that knowledge of self, deep rooted like trees. This is the good life. Yeah, it's the birds and the bees that carry me to the essence like the wind and the leaves. Yeah, this the good life, good life. Yeah, 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 this the good life, good life. Yeah, 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 this the good life, good life. Yeah, 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 this the good life, good life. Yeah, yeah, this is the good life. Pick up a book and I read. This that knowledge of self, deep rooted like trees. This is the good life. Yeah, it's the birds and the bees that carry me to the essence like the wind and the leaves. Yeah, this the good life, good life. Yeah, 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 this the good life, good life. Yeah, 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 this the good life, good life.